Yeah. So, well, hey, first, thanks for meeting. Let me first of all, I don't want you feeling like your contract with us is at any kind of peril. I don't want you thinking that. But here's the change, Jay, and here's why I needed to talk to you. So Joe is new. He's new to ComEd.
Right.
And you may or may not know there's probably a lot of detail that you don't know. There's a lot of detail I don't know. But your contract is under Joe Dominguez's budget.
Right.
It's always been under the CEO's budget. Okay.
Back to Frank.
So does it go all the way back to Frank? How long ago?
Oh, I started working for Commonwealth Edison Company, thank you, Lord, in 1985.
1985.
And so, but at that time, initially it was Jim O'Connor and Don Petkus.
Okay.
And then it went to Frank, and then it was Frank and John.
Okay.
And, you know, when I got bumped up to a big number, you may recall this. At one time, I don't know how many years ago, but it was probably 20 or 18 or 15. 15 maybe. Maybe more. Commonwealth Edison was owed a lot of money by the city. A lot.
Yes. Yeah.
And then CTA owed this, and they said, you don't know how to do your bills.
Street lights.
Street lights owed this, and you know how to do it. And at that time, it was Gary Chico at Alzheimer and Gray, Miles Berman at Alzheimer and Gray, and me. But Gary,
well, that goes a long ways, because first time I met Miles, he was already with Foley.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, but then it was. And yeah, well, Gary was at Alzheimer. I just remember because of John Rowe. Anyway, and Frank Clark called us in. I know I was there, and I think Miles was there. And he shut the door. He said, listen, you know, the city owes us $59 million or $74 million.
Wow, was it that much?
Well, part was Park District.
Okay.
Part of it was school.
Okay.
Part of it was this, and it was a whole lot of money. But it was either 59 or 70 or something. Well, it was something because we presented Frank with a check, a big check, about the size of that picture there, a little bigger, with whenever we collected. And at that time, it's funny how you remember this stuff. So we went out, and everybody said, I think it was Miles and me. I don't think Gary was kind of running a firm, but we don't want to make any enemies.
Yeah.
You know, but my board, when they see, it was $70 million, give or take.
Wow.
Yeah, but among the sister agencies.
Sure, but still, total.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. And, I know when you had just changed from something, and you hired Accenture, or something for a new billing system.
So that was like 98.
Okay.
We put that new billing system in.
New billing system.
97, 98, and it didn't work.
And well, the people in the cities, you know, probably about this word, said, the hell with you, you know, and they'll come.
Okay.
And so we would go over to General Services, I think Plesbert was there, or whoever was there, and we'd go over to this department and that department and the other department, and we went over to the Park District, and we collected the money. So at the end of it, and Frank was very, very happy. He was very happy to get the money. He was exceptionally happy that nobody was mad at him.
No dead bodies,
And
right.
And Daley wasn't mad, because Daley, as you know, was, I don't need to tell you, he got so hot. Anyway, and he was, and he said, Jay, I've paid Gary Chico and their firm whatever they paid him, whatever. He said, I want to pay you. I said, Frank, a big check.
Yeah,
It was like a couple $100,000. Because we would have hired lawyers. I said, Frank, you know what I'd rather have? I play the long game. I'd rather have just keep me on and use me, and use me. And, I love the game. At that time, we're starting to get the City Club going again. Frank, I remember way in the beginning, before the City Club, they had as many members as could fit at this table. Gave the City Club $25,000, right about that time.
Wow.
And just to Jay, we believe in what you're doing over there. We had, we always conclude ComEd and Exelon, always. You guys are there in the beginning. And I said, just bump it up. You come up with a number, and he came up with a number, and that's how it got into the 20,000.
Okay.
And we just spread it over time. And then came along, again, this is just you and me talking, I don't even know who else knows this. John Hooker called, he said, Jay, I got a sub for you. A
subcontractor.
Olivo. Frank
Okay.
Olivo. He said, we're going to pay him every month, and you just, I think John said I'll talk to Fidel, or I don't know who he talks. I don't know who he talks.
Yeah, that predated me, because when I was working with you, we were just working on city stuff, and it was just me and you and Miles.
Okay.
And when I first got here from Ops, Frank Olivo wasn't even an alderman anymore.
That's right. You came over from Ops.
Yeah,
Okay, all right,
yeah. It seemed like I've been here forever, but...
I mean, I've known you, and we've become great friends. And then came on, I think, Ray Nice, who ran the Recorder of Deeds office. And then came on, for a while, Ed Moody, who's now Recorder of Deeds. I mean, it was before he was Cook County Assessor, and then now Mike Zaleski.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I just can't remember if Mike McLean was part. I think it was really John Hooker who always just called me.
Yeah.
And said, hey, I'm going to slug this guy on. And so then it went up to whatever it is today, $37,000. So it looks like I'm making $1 billion.
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna. This is something Joe's got to approve.
Yeah.
Right. And I got to go to Joe and say, I know you're new here. You know Jay.
Right.
Here's that. So he's going to ask questions.
Sure.
Right. And how did it get this way and stuff like that. Right. As far as I know, maybe you could tell me different. All these guys do is, they're a sub under you, and you cut them a check. Do they do anything, or what do they do? What do you have them doing?
Not much, is the answer to the question.
Okay.
Not much. Let me just answer this. If I ever need anything from, in general, I would ask him. But this is really just you and me talking.
Yeah.
This all came from Hooker, McLean, Frank.
Okay.
And I don't talk to Frank only. I mean, when my dad died and was
right.
and stuff like that. But I don't say, go do this in Springfield.
Right.
Go do this at the city council. Go do that. Ray Nice, I met with a couple of times. Ed Moody, I mean, I see him, but I don't do anything specific. But I do know that every 6 or 8 or 9 months, every once in a while, Hooker will call and say, is everything okay with the guys or whatever?
Okay.
Because I know John C. is the chairman, the speaker.
I see.
So I don't think I'd tinker with that.
Okay.
I really.
I just got to go to Joe and explain it to him the best I could.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure what kind of questions he's got up. So I'm trying to prepare myself, Jay, for what questions he might have.
Here's how I might. Number one, your money comes from Springfield. ComEd money, right? I mean, for the most part.
You mean that's how we make our money?
Yeah.
Through our rates, yes.
And, I would, for me, and again, Mike Madigan is not my best friend, but if I called him right now, he'd call or he'd say, Jay, if I want to see him, I'd go see him. But my bottom line advice would be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. With those guys.
Okay.
I don't think, you've been around the game, and, and again, Madigan doesn't ask. I never, ever once had a conversation with Mike about these people.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I have every reason to believe that McLean has.
Okay,
I know Hooker has.
okay,
Because Hooker would call me with, I mean, I didn't know these guys, I never met these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I met Olivo because what you guys
Oh, he used to be an alderman.
Council, yeah. And, Zaleski I know well.
when he was the alderman,
Yeah.
right, right.
And, they keep their mouth shut and, you know, so, but do they do anything for me on a day-to-day basis? No.
No, all right.
Yeah, yeah. And that may be tough for a guy from out this town to swallow or whatever, but, man, I don't think I'd change it. I know I wouldn't change it.
Well, you know, Frank set this up. Frank and Ann had a good, you know, so Ann was Frank's pick.
Yeah,
He mentored her,
Right,
showed her the craft, right? So Ann, you know, this was never, Ann, I never even touched it. She just
yeah.
approved it. And now Joe, he's going to, you know, this is coming up and he's got to sign off on it.
Right,
Under his
right.
budget, and he probably doesn't, and I'm sure he's not aware. I know he's not aware.
yeah,
And I want to sit down with them and say, hey, by the way, I think
Yeah.
this is a $400,000 budget, and here's what it is. And he's going to have questions, and I'm just trying to prepare myself, Jay.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm just trying to think where you would get fortification, you know, and just so, let's see, he probably wouldn't, well, you, actually, it was predated you, collecting all that money,
Yeah.
you know,
85. You've been working for ComEd almost as long as I have.
yeah, but when I started out, it was $10,000 a year.
Oh, yeah, well, wow.
A year.
That's less than $1,000 a month.
Right, it was $833.33. But Jim O'Connor didn't know me well, but he did ask me. He came in, and he, you know, the other thing is going forward, if I'm on your side of the trade here, and this is just something, well, tomorrow we're all going to be together with Dan Hines. JB called and said, I want him, and JB's going to come, and he's going to have the other 3 deputy governors come.
Well, we're all going to be at the table tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a big table, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
you guys earned it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got Exelon, since O'Connor, but especially Frank and John, they really put their shoulder, they saw the value of being able to sit next to people in soft situations. And where you're not just sitting there saying, hey, I need this from the ICC.
Right.
I need this from
Right.
the ICC.
You know, they know very, very well the value of a good relationship.
Yeah, and a soft relationship.
A soft one, yes.
What you guys have done with just the Special Olympics as an example, and just and the City Club, you know, but yeah, you'll all be there. Yeah. It was when I sent you an email, I said, you know, included.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
You go, oh, what the hell?
Well, you know, 3 of us
Yeah.
at a table is like, that's a lot.
There's 14. We got a big table
Okay,
tomorrow.
okay.
And I say this lovingly. If anybody believes there, or if anybody belongs there, it's you.
Thank you.
Because you've been there. There's no, I tell everybody, no one more loyal, more grateful. But, okay, so Joe, or Fidel, why would we pay a guy like Jay Doherty and these other 3 people all this money? I don't know about the other 3 people. That's just can be answered in Springfield with Madigan. And to keep Mike Madigan happy, I think it's worth it. I mean, just because you'd hear otherwise.
Okay.
I mean, my opinion would he. I never talked to him about it.
Yeah,
But I didn't have to.
yeah.
But Hooker has.
Yeah.
And, you know, do you talk with John much?
Yeah, I talked to John.
He'll know the story, and he'll know the story about collecting all the dough.